channel, The Budgeting Biologist. My name is Brittany. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping on this little old video. And if you're an oldie but a goodie, thank you as always for coming back. So for today's video, I'm going to be working on my January 2025. I know that's crazy, right? Zero-based budget. So if you're interested in that type of content, please consider giving this video a like, commenting, and of course subscribing to the channel. Your girl would appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and hop into this video. So hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well and staying safe no matter whenever or wherever you may be watching this video. If you're new to the channel, again, my name is Brittany. I am a zero-based budgeter, which means every dollar that I get paid has a job, has a purpose in my budget. And I'm living right outside of the Washington, D.C. area, and on my YouTube channel, I'm sharing my financial journey to really hold myself accountable as I work towards financial independence and hope to remain debt-free. So yeah, like I was saying, we are doing the January budget for 2025. The ending for 2024 was crazy for me, y'all. I got married, I had plenty of family in town. Me and my new husband's family was in town. It was just a lot. Like 2024 was a lot. I got a promotion, went on trips. But I'm very excited to see what 2025 has in store. And I feel like a good way to kick that off, of course, is to, make sure that my money is doing what I need it to do. So let's go ahead and hop into this budget with me. So more recently, I have been using Google Sheets to track my finances. I used to do this on an iPad. And then when I first started my channel, I used to do it on just pen and paper. I don't think there's a right or wrong median to track your finances. It's just whatever works for you. And I've tried all three, and all three have their pros and cons. Just right now, I just been really liking the Google Sheets because mainly it does the math for me. So anyways, how I have mine set up is I have the month here. This is of course for January. And then in these three boxes, I have the total amount of income that I actually got paid, the total amount of expenses that I actually spent, and then what I have left to spend. So this is basically actual here. And this is the first thing that I see. Next over here, I have a summary of my income, expenses, what I put towards savings, budget versus what I actually spent. And then this is how I track when I'm doing my budget if I am doing a zero-based budget. Then over here, I have my expense tracker. I really like this. So this is like an automatic way to track my expenses. So just to give an example, I go to Target a lot. So let's say I go to Target, I'm gonna pay for that out of shopping. So I come down to my shopping category, and then let's say I spent $35 at Target. It's gonna automatically come up down here under the shopping category. I have budgeted $94 for shopping, spent $35, and then have $59 left over. So yeah, this is my expense tracker, and I really love it. I use it a lot to keep track of my finances. So yeah, that's just a little overview of my Google Sheet. There's so many different versions of this online, but this is just what works for me. Okay. So when I do my budget, I always like to start off with my income. So January is a fun month. It is a 3-paycheck month. And if you got a 3-paycheck month in January, make sure to put that down below in the comments. I love that for us. I used to be a semi-monthly employee, so I always got paid twice a month no matter what. But now that I'm bi-weekly, every once in a while, I get that 3-paycheck month, and I absolutely love that. So let's talk a little bit about my income. So my income is going to change pretty dramatically at the beginning of January. Well, on paper, it looks the same. Like I've been getting paid $2,100 every paycheck for about 6 months or so. But what is actually changing is that I am trying to meet my first financial goal of 2025. And I'm gonna put that video up in the cards where I talk about my goals for 2025, which is to max out a 401k. So that for me is about $940 per paycheck. I did miss being able to max out my contribution in my first paycheck of January. So I don't think it's gonna reflect until this paycheck on the 15th, but we'll see. But I did change my contribution so that I can fully max out my 401k. So that is here as well. Also, my health insurance did go up a little bit. So, you know, that happened as well. And then lastly, I did get a little raise as well. I do get a little raise at the beginning of the year, but again, that raise is basically eaten up by my increase in my health insurance premium. So this is a long way of saying that while on paper, my income hasn't really changed that much, behind the scenes, it has. So I'm expecting to get paid $2,100 for all 3 of my paychecks in January, giving me a grand total of $6,300 that we have to budget. Now, because January is a magic month and I do get an extra paycheck in January, I decided to put that extra money or that additional paycheck towards savings and investing. So we just paid off all of the expenses for our wedding. And I am planning on doing a video on how much I spent on our wedding, or we spent on our wedding. That should be the video right after this. But anyways, my savings have taken a little bit of a hit because of that. We wanted to have a wedding and make sure that we did not go into debt for it, which thankfully we didn't. But again, my savings took kind of a hit for that, so I am going to be trying to build that back up over the next couple months. So for my personal savings, I will be putting $1,700 towards my personal savings account. My Roth IRA, yes, I am maxing out my 401k for this year, or I hope to max out for this year, but no matter what, I'm always gonna max out a Roth IRA, no matter what. As long as my income is under the threshold, your girl's gonna be maxing out a Roth IRA. So that's gonna be $584 per month. And then I am gonna put $1,000 towards investing this month. That is the goal. And that would be the most amount of money I have invested on my own ever before. And another one of my financial goals for this year was to diversify my investments. I'm not sure what that's gonna look like quite yet, but I am excited to do some research, to play around with some things and, look into some other investment vehicles. But that is what I'm planning on doing for the month of January. So in total, I plan to put away for my January savings and investing $3,284. Now, before I move on, I did say in my financial goals video that I did want to try bi-weekly budgeting, and that is still something that I plan to do. I'm just still going to do the monthly overview just to kind of get a general guide of where my money's going. And then what my plan is, when I actually get this $2,100 paycheck, I'm gonna say, okay, how much of that $120 for gas am I gonna budget in that $2,100 first paycheck? I hope that makes sense. But so I'm gonna try to move to a model where I do both, basically. So now moving on to the joint savings. So I should have mentioned up here, this is just my own personal savings that I have for myself. And then I do have some joint savings that I do have with my new husband. So we have the house account, which is basically for home maintenance. We have a high yield savings account with Capital One, and we both put money towards that each month. That's gonna get $100. And then we also put money towards our car insurance premium. We pay it in full for 6 months, and that next premium should be due, I wanna say in February. So I'm gonna put $100 towards that for the month of January, giving us a grand total of $200 that is going to be going towards our joint savings. So now moving on to the joint expenses, similar to the joint savings where, again, me and my husband have like a joint account that we put money into. We also have a joint checking account that we pay all of our joint expenses out of. So think mortgage and groceries, etc. Anything that we pay for together, things for our dog, we pay for it out of those that joint checking account. So for mortgage, I'm gonna be putting $1,661 for my portion of the mortgage. Now, I do like to say this on my channel, my mortgage is high, but that is because we are putting extra money towards the principal right now. And to be honest with you, we really need to sit down and evaluate if that's what we want to do. Of course, you know, it's never a bad idea to put more money towards your principal because you're ultimately building more equity in your home. You are saving yourself on interest, etc. But when we were thinking about it, we were just like, could the extra money that we're putting towards our mortgage, could we invest that into something that's going to give us a higher return? Right, and it only needs to be a higher return than our current interest rate, which is 6.5%, right, for it to make sense. Also, while I love this house, we don't plan on staying here for more than 5 years. This is not our forever home. That has already been decided. So, you know, me and my husband, we really need to sit down and figure out if continuously putting more money towards our mortgage is the best move. But for right now, this is what I'm going to do in January. For water, I'm going to put $50 towards our water bill, $240 for groceries. This has been working out for us. Again, this is just my portion. So we put, I think, $480 or $500 total. I think my husband puts a little bit more towards groceries, but anyways, that's been working out really well for us. Electric, I'm gonna put $100 towards electric, and then for Verizon Fios, which is how we get our internet service, that's gonna get $43. So in total for our joint fixed expenses, we are putting $2,094 towards our joint fixed expenses. And I should say, this is actually a month ahead. This is gonna go towards our joint expenses in February. Right, so I am a month ahead for our joint expenses. Now, moving on to just my specific or the fixed expenses that I pay on my own, I separated those out. For my cell phone bill, that's going to be, I'm budgeting $38, but I got a big development, y'all. If you've watched any of my videos on my channel, y'all know I have been battling with Verizon because of the cell phone plan that I have. It's like a very old plan that they don't offer anymore, and they're constantly trying to like get me to switch plans. And I think it's finally worked. There are so many other like cell phone plans out there that you can get that are much cheaper than what I'm paying. I'm already not paying a lot, but I am exploring thinking about getting Mint Mobile or Visible by Verizon. Those are the two I'm exploring the most right now. And both of those plans are cheaper than what I pay now. So I'm currently using a trial for Visible by Verizon and have been loving it. I haven't had any issues with it at all. So I think that is what I will switch to unless I decide to do a trial with Mint Mobile. We'll see how it goes. But if you have either of those cell phone services, please let me know how you like them down in the comments, because I think I am finally ready to make the switch as long as I'm paying less money. Apple is my iCloud storage and my Apple Music. I'm budgeting $13 for that. And then I do pay our Netflix subscription, which is $17. I budget for that. So if I add up of all the fixed expenses for just me, that is going to be a total of $68. But again, this cell phone is subject to change for January. So we'll see how it goes. So the final category that we have to talk about are my discretionary expenses. And again, these are, you know, expenses that are going to vary much more month to month to month. So for gas, I'm putting aside $120. Now, I do work for the federal government, y'all, and I'm sure y'all have seen the news if you live in the US, but there may be some changes in the amount of time that we're able to work remotely or telework coming, you know, this January. It is what it is. Right now, I telework 2 days a week and I'm in the office 3 days a week. So it's looking like that's gonna change to where I'm gonna be in my office full time. Again, it is what it is. So I think 120 for right now is pretty good, but we'll have to reevaluate how much money I'm spending on gas come February. It may have to go up. Beauty, I'm putting aside $50 for beauty. I'm either gonna get my nails done or get some braids. I'm probably gonna get my nails done, but we'll see what I spend my beauty money on. Shopping is gonna get $94. So this is just for personal care items, you know, it's basically Target money. I really should just change this to Target because that's where I do 99% of my shopping at. But yeah, it's like personal care items or any, little knickknacks or anything I need. Fun is only gonna get $100. Now, me and my new husband had a lot of fun in the last quarter of 2024. We went on 2 trips. We got married. We have family in town. So we've had plenty of fun over the last 3 months. So I'm only putting $100 towards fun for the month of January. Giving is gonna get $10. Eating out is going to get $65. I feel pretty good about that. We did eat out a lot in the month of December, but that is only because we were out and about with family. It wasn't a normal month, but normally $65 is plenty for me. We have no holidays that I'm gonna be spending any money for in January, so that's gonna be $0. Car is gonna get $50 because I do think I will need an oil change in January, and that should be able to cover it. Clothes, electronics, and house are all gonna stay at zilch, nada, nothing. Don't need any of it. Health, I'm gonna put $50 in just in case I have a copay or a prescription that I have to pay for, anything like that in the month of January. And then pet is gonna get $15. This is anything extra that I get from my dog Titan, which basically happens every month. Not like his food and just general upkeep and maintenance. That comes out of our joint expenses, but anything extra I wanna give him. So for all of my discretionary expenses, if I add that up, we have a total of $654 that I'm planning on spending for my discretionary expenses. So now we just have to come up to here where it said summary and just, make sure that everything is adding up to $0, completing our $0-based budget. So for income, $1,600 is what I'm budgeting. Again, this may be a little bit more, a little bit less. We'll just have to see. For all of my expenses, joint, my own fixed expenses, my discretionary expenses, that adds up to $2,816. And then for savings and investing, this month I'm setting aside $3,484 towards my savings and investing. And again, that includes my individual savings and investing and then the joint. So over here, the last thing I want to just show y'all is the little graphs I have set up, because sometimes it's easier to see this information in a graphical format than just a bunch of numbers. Some people like that, and I am one of them. So down here, I just have this pie chart or donut chart or whatever you want to call it of what percentage of my money is going where. So for the month of January, I have about 55% of my money going towards savings and investing, 10% going towards discretionary expenses, and then what is that? About 34% going towards fixed expenses. So I am not mad at this at all. It's been a long time since I've been able to put my net wages, my net income, have about 50% of that go to savings and investing, and I am not mad at that at all. But all right, y'all, that's gonna go ahead and end my video. We are at $0 for our $0-based budget. If you did enjoy, please consider giving this video a like, commenting, and subscribing. Let me know, how's your budget looking for the start of a brand new year? I'm really excited for 2025. Hopefully I have some exciting things happening, and I'm putting that out into the universe for all of us. Everyone watching to this video, we're gonna make it our year. We're gonna put positive energy out there in 2025. We're all gonna need it for one reason or another. But anyways, put down in the comments, what are you excited for in the new year? What are you excited for in your budget as we move into a new year? And yeah, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.